of earth.
Hi friends, it's Quantum with a chance of normal today. That means nothing will be normal in this next 24 hours. Sensei will tell you, it's because of all the step 4s happening at the same time.
What only hurts Astrodars?
Is door. Today there are see you yesterday. Only your heart, not the mind, knows where you belong.
There we are.
Welcome, everybody. That was fun. Today's going to be a quantum week. We're going to talk about it with my co-host here, Chris, and also like what the little son was talking about with step 4, which is the door. Welcome, Chris. How's it going?
It's going well, man. I'm feeling better than I have been. I don't know about you, but something clicked on last weekend. Something just turned on. I don't know what it was. I just suddenly felt better and different. And I felt like it was a different world, honestly. I feel like I'm somewhere else. It feels kind of foreign.
Interesting. Same thing for me. I know last week when we touched base, and guys, we're on here every single week on Monday. It was kind of like feeling a little darkness, shadowy. And guys, if you're in the chat, go ahead and comment how you've been feeling the last few days, because that'll give some context about what we're talking about. Maybe if you have any questions about what we're talking about, definitely comment. And Chris, I feel this excitement and this urge for the future. Even having like conversations with my wife about like where we're going in the future. And so I definitely feel a little bit of that energy as well.
I'm feeling very futuristic. Now I do think there's a difference. I mean, I've been talking to people who are keeping up on the Trump stuff, and they're getting more and more nervous and they're getting more anxious about it. I've noticed. Some people are, they kind of don't know what to do about it. Although they're not panicking like they were in COVID kind of thing. It's just more of a, they're not happy. So I'm seeing some people are not fulfilled, but my posse, the people who, believe in this stuff, are seeing huge things. In fact, I actually remember we talked about I think we talked about a couple weeks ago, how there's this rumor going around that you may end up living longer lives this lifetime. That whoever's alive now may end up living 120, 160 years. Did we talk about that? Okay.
No, we didn't.
We did talk about it. Well, I've had a couple people come to me and say, "Oh, are you on the 160 plan?" I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "You're going to live to be 160." I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's gotten it's already become popular. Like it came to me through a normal door." I was like, "Where'd that come from?" I'm seeing kind of like Doppler effect. I don't know, stuff coming into people's awareness that I had just been like, nerding out on myself. And now people are talking about different things. Atlantis is one of them that's coming up on its own. So this week I felt like the new world was here for me, but I was waiting for the show to start.
No, I mean, especially even like last night into this morning, I'm feeling the same thing about making plans. And even like right before I walked into my office, we were talking about that and getting excited, like in an excited, trusting way. Does that correlate at all to planets and stars or the times that are happening right now?
I believe so. I mean, what that is I think the beginning of 5D. 5D is allegedly where we have two more, basically we're in 3D now. So there's two more dimensions that we're going to include and as part of our moment-to-moment awareness. And I was talking to another friend about this over the weekend. In 3D, you basically have two options. In 3D, one of the channels is you observing, and then two other channels is left, right, up, down, duality. 3D is always like observer, right? And so 4D is observer in three directions, right? Basically. But 5D, when it comes down to, you will be an observer and you'll have four different directions you can go at any time. So 4 choices in any moment. And that's also what quantum computers are. It's like, it's instead of 2, it's now 4, right? And then also the fourth power, they go quantum. The point is that we're going to be aware of more information at the same time. And what we kind of stay tuned to is to tether that is our heart and joy, like excitement. What you're saying, excitement, like it's joy that keeps you tethered to those 4 things, those 4. Whereas before in 2D, we're just trying to stay balanced, right? Or in 3D.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has, and its capacity to be able to do that is how you exist in that dimension or density. You were mentioning the war and Trump and people getting basically focused on that. And when you have that single pointed focusedness, you're unable to experience the multiple perspectives of the show. And that's what we're talking about. Going into a higher dimension allows you to see what is true, and like, what are you doing here? What's life calling you to do? And we're not just completely focused on something that's taking us off of our track, but we're able to hold multiple things in our consciousness, even if they're serious. And so I think as we get good at that, we'll be able to also rework things in, like, our past and our future, and bring it into the present moment. And that's really where we can transcend the limits of time and space.
And it's from living in the heart. I feel at the end of the day, like it was the excitement again. It's because we're living in our heart. And that's what, no negativity in heaven, no criticism, there's no sadness, there's no judgment. We live in we are by nature joy. That's what we are. And we stepped away from it to understand and appreciate joy. But what I'm noticing is I'm just getting more and more, I'm in more in my heart. I'm enjoying, the time. Like I'm taking too long. I'm farting around too much with the graphics. I'm farting around too much. Like I'm spending too much time shopping and picking out the right colors, things like that. So that's where I'm kind of wasting time. But it feels so good to be, picking out colors again. Whereas before, for life got so black and white and hard for so long. But I think what happens is that when you're in that state of joy, you're just like, they'll figure it out. There's just a part of you that just doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter anymore, right? So I'm feeling that. So what's happening is we're going through a dimensional shift. We're in Leo right now. The important thing about Leo is it is love, is the sun. The sun is Leo. All energy from all of heaven, everything comes through the sun. The sun, every star in the sky is basically God. God's service is rallying there. And it's a point of presence for God. It's like a modem. So every star is like a modem pointing out God consciousness, right? That's really how it works. And our sun does this. And that sun is in your heart. When you're happy and you're joyful, you feel that sun in your heart. You feel that warmth in your heart. It's the same energy coming through you. Love is the big purpose of everything. And I had a client this weekend who is on the path to 5D without a doubt. Many of my clients are. And we realized that now that she's healed all of her childhood and all those other things, I'm not going to convey who she is, but it doesn't matter. It's not that private. Now that she's healed her childhood and all this other stuff, it's like her chart shows like 6 months of heart development. I was like, what the hell is this? What could be there, right? And tuning into my guides and getting the message, it was going to start learning her magic. So it's like we've been so limited in our heart. We've just accepted like pretty colors like our background. I'm like, oh, it's good. That's all we need. But in reality, it's like beyond being healthy, there's magic. There's controlling reality. There's being able to create reality, literally. So he's, zipping from continent to continent, using the astral body. I mean, we have a lot of this. This is real, and it's documented. We talked about last week. But she happens to be a person who's going to bring this back online. She lived in Atlantis, and she's remembering these talents. And so the point is, the heart's capacity. We're not even I don't think we're at the brim. Happy? Oh, that's probably still the gas tank is probably still on E. We were about out for the last 22,000 years. I'm saying that the level of joy that we're done, I think it's just the beginning of joy, and the beginning of the creative force that flows through us. I mean, the highs are going to be high.
Yeah, and speaking about the heart, there's a number of studies. They're studying precognition. And actually, I was watching an AI expert talk about how they can tell the difference between a human and AI, because that's like a big thing, to be able to develop a machine that is as human as a human. And one of the things that they realize that makes a human human is precognition, meaning that we can tell the difference, like we can tell the difference in the future. And the way that they do that, and anyways, just to wrap up the AI thing, so AI can't do that yet. It can't predict the future, but there's a lot of precognition studies where they hook up people to machines, and they're basically measuring the heart rate, and then they're showing the person random images of like death and destruction is one image, and the next image is like beautiful rainbows and flowers. And they can see that the heart is tuning into what the next random image is going to be before the machine has even picked the random image. So the
Wow.
heart is transcending linear time as we know it. Yeah. And so that's just to bring some like third dimensional science into this when you're saying like the heart is transcending our normal bounds of this dimension. It's kind of been proven even with our rudimentary technology that we use to prove things.
That's pretty amazing. I think I'm gonna get a slide out here when we're talking real quick and show you something I'm doing because I'm launching my channel tonight. My show's launching tonight. The fifth week I've said this to you.
It's a never-ending story.
I know, but it's Mercury retrograde. I have to just be careful about promising. But I feel like it'll be okay. It's going live tonight because it's all these pieces. But the reason is because the universe kept. It's hard. I'm doing it in a retrograde, first of all, which is allowed, by the way. You can reinvent yourself in a retrograde. But the problem is when are you done? You know, and what I've been doing is I'm letting the old world pressure of money and stuff like push me, and not just relax. To be able to be with everyone, you know, and that's the old me that I have to let go of. So I keep saying it's live and it's not. But one thing,
where is it going live?
It's going to go live tonight on all my social media, but particularly on Sensei Chris on YouTube. Sensei Chris Witecki on YouTube is my channel. Sensei Chris Witecki. And you'll see we've got some stuff up there. We redid the channel, and I've got some new stuff. But if you are a subscriber to Step Astrology, which is going to be my new service, I'm now going to be actually doing all the horoscopes based on the heart's point of view, because we're using what we call the draconian chart. And I realized your is creating the future. That's what we all do. It's not that it's precogniting, it's creating it now. It's creating it. It's choosing that moment, I think, what the next slide is going to be. And it's saying, I want this. It's based on what we desire. And so what I've been studying, which is fascinating, is I noticed, my whole thing was manifestation. So The Secret came out, and I was like, I want to learn how to manifest. I want to get this down. I want to be like the manifester guy, right? So I was trying to break the code, and I was paying attention to how long it took for me to manifest stuff because I knew I could manifest something. I could like literally will something to my life pretty quickly whenever I wanted it. Mm-hmm. And I was very confident about it. In fact, I was so confident I just didn't have time for all the things I was wishing. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to actually do all the willing. I knew because the list was too long. But I did notice that it was taking. I naturally assumed like a person, like any other naive person, like, oh, that's how long it takes. It takes 6 months for something to manifest. Well, now that I'm at this 20-year mark, I realize, oh no, because I'm mapping the draconian chart and the actual natal chart. And the draconian chart, what it does is it zips off, it takes the north node and it goes all the way to 0 Aries. So it takes away the ego. It zeroes out the ego basically. And it says, we're going to imagine there's no ego, which reveals the soul. And when you do that to the chart, it moves the actual sun up or backwards in time. I mean, upwards in time, forwards in time, but how much? What I realized was back when I learned astrology, when I was doing that first time, it was the draconian chart was 6 months. So you'd say something today, and 6 months from now, it would be manifesting. The reason why it's manifesting in a month right now is because the north node has gotten back to Aries. Right, it went to Aries, and then so it got back to the natural place of where it was. I mean, now it's in Pisces, right? Going to Aquarius. In fact, that's one of the big topics. North Node is going into Aquarius, and South Node is going into Leo. Is that right? Yes, correct. And that's another big topic for this week. It's like that's huge because it's saying, all right, it's now time to let go of what your heart was attached to in the past. Let go of the old heart burdens. Let go of the whole all 3D. It's all low resolution, anyways. And where do you really belong, North Node in Aquarius? Where do you really belong? Where's your heart truly belong? What do you wish? And that's what people don't know belong, let's just say wish. But the point is, you bring up the heart thing. I think it's fascinating because I realized, oh my God, I think the heart is always working in that draconian future, which I call the dragon heart chart. We're going to call it the dragon heart chart because it's nice. Really when the dragon breathing in is found its the happy dragon, right? Basically, it's a draconian, but yeah, it's interesting. So every day for the service, we're going to actually be focusing on the horoscope for your spirit, not the horoscope for your life. Because what I'm realizing is, by the time where you live today, you ordered that pizza a month ago at least. And so to waste any time arguing with the pizza delivery is stupid. It only shows up the way you were 3 days ago. And the way you respond to that pizza delivery or whatever is going to affect a month from now. So why would you get mad if it's going to screw up the future? That's what I
Right.
realized. That's my big epiphany. I hope everyone's with us on that one. But
Yeah,
it's
there's like a choice. There's a choice, and you're basically faced with the choice of something that has already been made a month ago, but it's how you respond to it is going to then make the choice for 30 days from now.
totally. And so I always had a hard time. I mean, Yeshua and all the other leaders would be like, just let it go. Like, and it's like,
Yeah.
how? Now it makes so I don't care. This is old stuff. This is all old. It's just kind of a way for me to see if, the food's coming out correctly. Because there's nothing I can
I've
really
got
do.
something I can share later on about that, about letting go of parts of ourselves or even maybe people in our life that aren't there anymore. But I'll save that for later because you're on kind of a riff about the sun. I'm hearing the sun is entering
So
planets.
we have this. So we have, it's a major week. Today the sun is at step 4. So we're at the, that's why it's quantum. And we have the sun at step 4, Neptune at step 4, Saturn at step 4, and Pluto at step 4. And the sun is opposing Pluto at step 4. So what that is many, many doors. I'll get the
Four,
chart that someone made for me
four,
today.
four, four, four.
All these 4s. Now every 4 is a door, right? And when we look at it here, you'll see. I'll bring it up here in a minute. Every 4 represents another dimension. You're going to choose another dimension. And actually, there it is right there, but I can't point to it. Boo. I'm going to download this one here in a second. But you can
Okay.
see it. Yeah. Well, I can here it is. I'm going to download it. I can do a file share here. You can fill in the blanks here. And we always chart us astrologers. I don't know if people know this, but we run a chart for with Aries on the horizon on the right there at the beginning. And I don't think this one is done that way, which is okay.
Can
Because we
you
want
say which one Aries is?
so we'll put Aries right on the horizon line, and Aries is the first sign. You want to calculate your own sun sign. You basically put, the way we do horoscopes is we make Aries the first house. If we want to do a horoscope for Aries, we turn the chart for Aries to be the first house. We want to do a horoscope for Taurus, we turn the chart for Taurus to be the first house. So you basically turn to the first house. And so in my new horoscopes, that's what we're doing. We're actually going to be working on, it's going to be a self-study hall. We're going to be looking at our astrology charts for the whole sign, kind of looking at it a bit more deeply now than I ever have, and seeing where things happen to be. But let me just put this down here on downloads. So make it a little here. I should have done this earlier, but we were running behind. I was doing too much already, so you got to stop somewhere. Downloads, and I'll share the screen. But overall, it's interesting because the North having Aries there on the beginning when we do the horoscopes is the same thing we go zero out with Aries. So it's interesting to see just the parallels happening, right? Where you can, how do I put this? You're going to see when I show you this that it's almost like a planned implosion. You know how a building has planned to detonate, and like you see all these like explosions go on inside of it, and then it just sort of falls. I want to show you the chart. It's like literally we're being detonated on the inside from
By
spirit.
building 7.
Yeah. See, I'm just going to use the actual here. Screen share. I've got that song in my head. Sensei.com. SenseiChris.com. Okay, so you'll have to bring it up, Sarah, if you can. Here now. There we go. All right, so can I go deeper? Second, let me go. Boo. Second, let me do that. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Sorry I mess around. This live TV makes me feel nervous, but that's one thing I'm trying not to do anymore is feel nervous. There's no need to feel nervous. First of all, I ordered this breakfast, 6 months ago, right? Like, we shouldn't be nervous in the present anymore because it's not. So, I just want to see what it takes. But the overall here, so there you go. Thanks for your patience, everybody. I wonder what the audience might be saying about this. Okay, that's where I went to downloads. It's like, where did it go? All right. I just want to get close and dirty with it. Here we go. All right. So one more time, Moshali, Sarah, do this, please. TV. Boom. All right. Yay, now you can see my mouse. All right, awesome. Here we go. So we didn't run it that way this time. That's just because I didn't ask you to do it. So no biggie. But here's where it starts. The sun today is at step 4. Okay. Now realize step 4 is Aquarius, which is I belong. And the thing about I belong is that there's only 2 points of belonging from the heart and where it belongs. So the heart belonging, creation, and then where it belongs is manifestation, right? So we create from the heart, it manifests in belonging. So basically from the idea, the creative idea to the real world, to the heart, actual physical is basically from from Leo to Aquarius. Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs. So, each part of the chart is actually part of the mechanism of reality. We have death with Scorpio and manifestation with Taurus. We have an idea that forms a belief in Sagittarius, right? There's consciousness that works and balances each other. Well, Leo and Aquarius is actually creation itself, because everything you create in vibration belongs to be organized with its own friends that have the same vibe. So everything belongs according to these creations belong in this way. The reason why the earth is a mess is because aliens and some bad men decided to organize the earth differently. Not by vibration, but by, willpower, what they wanted. So what's interesting is 4 is Aquarius, 4 is the door, and the sun is number 1. The sun is 1, and the sun of 1 is in the sign of 1 at 4, right? So see how purified it is in that way? It's just the sun at 1 at step 4. So it's saying, okay, my heart belongs. And then Pluto over here is at 4. Pluto is the door also. Pluto closes the door, and it basically draws a boundary. And this tug of war is happening between the sun and Pluto, which happens every year. The sun opposes Pluto every year for a minute, but it doesn't always oppose Pluto in such a magical, dynamic moment, right? In the sense that we're interdimensional. One thing about 4 is, remember I said about 4, when you have 4 options, you're in 5, because you have the 1 and you have the four different options. So when we go quantum in a 4, we are the observer, and there's 4 options. This is why we go quantum. So this means that basically portals open up to other dimensions today, other dimensions that you would never have considered that were there the whole time, right under your feet, but you didn't know. So it's kind of like, so for resolution with this friend of mine over the weekend, and it's like conflict resolution now is like, well, you could do it this way or this way. But now the reason why Earth's going to get better is because you could do this way, this way, this way, or this way. There'll be new options, right? Or you could just not go to high school and have your AI teach you. Whoa, right? So the point is that our heart, we're realizing that somewhere in our life, we don't belong. Something does not belong in our life. There's something very stinky, a vibe that we don't like, okay? Now, we might have felt that vibe. I felt that vibe in and out all through the weekend. Like, it just kept coming up, that stench in different areas of life. I'm like, ooh, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Just different parts of life I was just done with. I don't want to feel this anymore. So we're getting rid of this. Pluto's saying, okay, it's closing the door. And when Pluto does, it says, okay, that may never come back. So Pluto shuts the door forever on something. Then you within what is in front of Pluto. And the heart is saying, okay, I used to belong on this side of my heart, but now I feel I belong on that side of my heart. So we're basically choosing a different side of our heart we're going to stand on. Now, that may sound very obscure, but most people are not even on the side of their heart. Most people are on the side of the world. So it's like, Rod, did you do something wrong? It's like right away, is Rod thinking about, oh, my poor heart? No, he will maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am bad. Like we will turn our backs on our own heart and start to appease our slave owners and the people who own us and the people who run us, and turn our back on our heart. We have not been on the side of our heart, to begin with, saying, no, I'm on my heart side no matter what. In the heart side, that's unconditional. So what this is forcing us to say is, okay, it's time to get on the right side of your heart, which means loving yourself unconditionally, which means that Pluto says then everything that's not on the right side of your heart has got to go. All right, and so that is ultimately the earthquake. Remember, step 0 is Pluto. Step 1 is the sun. If you change out 0 and 1, the whole goddamn tower is going. Right? The whole thing's going to go if 0 and 1 goes, because they hold up everything. So the 2 platforms that hold up everything in the step system go. But then we have that detonation thing I was telling you about, right? Because whenever you're at a zero, we always run the chart. This isn't it either, actually. I know what this is. This isn't quite there. It's okay though. But we'll run it for 400, so 4 degrees 00 minutes, right? That's exact. And whatever's happening to all the planets at that moment is actually like a birthday for that day. And that's how we do astrology. At the moment, we have Moon in Capricorn at 1333. So that means, okay, since this is going about what rules belong following and what rules I don't belong following, my feelings now change. I now feel I belong following these rules, not those rules. So this is where people become anarchists and go, no, fuck it, I'm not paying taxes. I don't feel I belong paying taxes anymore, right? It'll be something like, it will be those kind of extreme things. I would recommend that the first one, but at the same time though, Neptune is also at 4. So Neptune is our spiritual faith in ourselves. This is our faith in ourselves. On what side of have you been on your heart side of faith or not on your heart side of faith in yourself, right? Maybe your mind side of faith in yourself. Maybe your history side of faith in yourself. Not on your heart side, on your heart. Where do you belong in faith in your heart, faith in yourself? On the heart side, on the self-loving side. So at the same moment, our faith changes, right? Quantum than that is Uranus. Uranus is the ruler of 4. So that means 4 goes, I don't know if I belong with this 4. The 4 itself is going to decide to be on another side of itself. The actual consciousness itself, the root of the consciousness itself, the belonging energy of itself is changing at its root because Uranus is at 4 on this day. Uranus is at 4, so it's its pure form. And so we change the definition of 4 and also all the doors. It's not just the doors; they're now called movie pops. You know what I mean? Like they have a whole new definition. And I think there's one more here that's not happened by this time. Mars, where's Mars? No, Mars is 20. There's one more 4. I think I know the moon was at 1. Is at one of the 4s. I'll look forward to see it. And you got 4 and 14 here with Saturn, so you just have some 4 expressed. So it was a couple. Jupiter went to 4. Jupiter's at 4. This all started to rumble because Jupiter's our belief. And so a few days ago when Jupiter's at 4, we go, I don't know if I believe that I should be taking the blame for that anymore. Your belief started to change, right? And so what's happening is between now and the next 2 days, Jupiter's going to stay at 6. 6 is Libra, just like you, buddy. It accepts. And so today we go, I don't know if I belong letting myself feel bad anymore about that. Like today, actually, I was saying on my way, my mom is giving me the same old guilt trip today. You were never enough for us. You weren't there for us. You let us be in pain all the time. You're always the way horrible person way I treat her. And I was just like, you know what? I just can't shrink to it. I said, I don't care anymore, Mom. I'm not playing this game. I don't belong being your caretaker. That's not what I came here for. I don't belong being there for him. If you guys are so sensitive, then get some fucking courage and go treat yourself like I did. You're oversensitive about this. But I used to feel like I belonged coming to her rescue, coming to her aid. Now, I'm not going to go there. So it's like I'm having to back to my childhood, which is my mom, where I'm reaffirming, no, I'm sorry. I'm not here for you, Mom. I'm not. My mom just seems to think that we were born for her. It's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm here for my son, Miles, so I tell her. And he's here for his child. That's how it works. But anyways, the point is that you'll probably find that you'll have eruptions in your life where you are seeing, just like I described, something happen that's always been a part of your pattern. But now suddenly you go, no, fuck you. Like suddenly you just feel like you at least see that you're not on your own heart side. You see it. And that's tomorrow the sun goes to 5, step 5, and that's where the mind has to swallow it. It's like, do you think? Can we start? So, it's kind of like saying, it's like coming out of the closet or something. It's like, I belong with the same gender. And the mind's like, okay, so we're going to start wearing pink now. Like the mind has to catch up with this, right? Like the mind's not quite programmed for this. So tomorrow's like the day where the mind's not quite programmed for this. We haven't ever said we belong with this before to the world. So the mind's a little, it's not programmed for this. This is forming us. This is going to force us to go into an emotionally based rule, to rule ourselves emotionally, which is the way we're supposed to rule our life. Emotion through feelings. We're supposed to feel everything. That's why, animals are quiet. It's because they're feeling it. They're feeling their way through everything. It's not that you hear what Ra says. You feel what he says. It may not matter, right? But the point is, like,
Right, and you're observing those feelings.
correct. And if something goes off, it's like, I don't know, when the judge said this, I felt weird, didn't you? But like, like, you say, but I don't know what the hell he's saying because I don't know that legalese, right? It's like, but I think tomorrow, really, here's Uranus at 4. So Uranus is like big saying, okay, mind, everything you ever thought, you had the wrong premise. So start over. Start over, you had the wrong premise. With everything, yes, your entire logical tree is wrong. And that's going to happen in society. We realize there are entire things that are wrong. I think entire things, like I don't even think the periodic table is wrong. I think so much is wrong because I don't know, some of our minds, our egos forced over. So tomorrow the mind rules the day. And so tomorrow is going to be a cloudy day. I think a lot of arguing with ourselves, or just saying, I can't believe it. And then the sun crosses Jupiter. This is an annual event. Okay. Sun always crossed Jupiter. Actually, it did not cross Jupiter last year. It did not cross Jupiter last year. Okay. That's so huge because it did not cross Jupiter in Cancer. And that means we never got on the same page with our beliefs about emotions. So, no, it was the mind. The sun never crossed Jupiter when it was in Gemini, I think is correct. Yes, in Gemini, forgive me. And it usually almost always crosses it, but sometimes it doesn't get to cross it. So when the sun and Jupiter cross, the heart and the beliefs come together. My heart believes this, you believe this, Riha, we're there again. The sun and Jupiter did not cross in Gemini, which means the heart did not get on the same page with our thought, like the normally does. So that means that from that point on, you had some people that means the heart never corrected the mind. There are no corrections because the heart's like, nah, it's bullshit, right? Your heart calls bullshit on whatever the mind's saying. It's the heart that calls you on bullshit. So what's fascinating is when they come together, they come to the same page. And I said to the public then, I'm like, there's where the lunatics go. That's where the revolutionaries start. That's where those people, because it didn't cross with the heart, because we weren't checked with our heart, that's what allows people to go way too far off of Oz, because because they stay in their mind and never leave. And so it's sort of set up to where, hey, we forgot to install the brakes. So some people who live just in the mind might go over the wall, because nothing told them to check their heart. They didn't check their heart on their own. They're not letting their heart shut down. It's damaged or whatever. So nothing's calling their mind on bullshit, right? So long story short, tomorrow the sun crosses Jupiter in Leo at 6 degrees. Now, is you know how it is, right? It's pretty hard for you not to accept something.
Right. So to not accept something.
Not, right? It's like you may not like it.
Oh, yeah.
You may not like it, but you accept it. You accept that this is the truth. You accept aliens just land. Your daughter has, laser beam eyes and she can cut curtains with her eyes. You're not going to tell the world, but that's what happens. You're accepting it, like her powers. A Libra just accepts things. That's what 6 is.
I mean, as a Libra, I literally, if somebody says something, I'm like predisposed to think that it's true, and my mind is just like, how can this be possible? I'm validating everything, whether I know it's fiction or not. It's like everything to me is a true reality. Whether it's spoken, written down, lied about, it's still like a possibility that it's a true reality.
Yes. So, and what it is that, and if it's not a true reality, it's softened so that you can still accept it. Like, like the Libra will be like, well, it's going to hurt, but let's just wear these pillows. And, like you're not denying it. You're just going to get some pillows, whatever makes it hard. You're going to soften it up, balance it off, make it easy, right? To accept, so the heart can accept it. The point is that because the sun and Jupiter are conjuncting at 6, everyone will just accept this as true, not debate it. You will swallow the red pill or the blue pill, and that's it. Like, God has forced the medicine down, is what I'm saying, right? Basically, because the conjunction happens at 6. The sun doesn't conjunct Jupiter every year at 6. It's something else. But basically, it's saying, now, I don't think it'll be hard the heart is going to realize is your mission on earth is what you wish it would be. When you're doing what God wants you to do, you are crazy in love with what you're doing. God does not give out assignments that are not fun and enjoyable. There is no sacrifice to an assignment. There is no, in fact, if anything, he's got a problem with people because they're so freaking excited. So when you're on the right path of your heart, it is your wishes coming true always. It's not designed to be anything but that. So I don't
But
think
usually it's hard to accept those things, right? Usually the mind and the heart can be in opposition. But what you're saying is that today we've got energy to listen to our heart, and then tomorrow there's going to be energy that we actually believe it, which I think is
no, the mind's going to
refreshing.
argue tomorrow. Tomorrow the mind argues. So tomorrow you get the mind going, you fucking crazy? What the neighbor's going to do?
Oh yeah, you said cloudy.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the day where tomorrow you get a real dose of like how powerful the mind is, how we've allowed it to be too powerful. You know, it's talking about stuff. I always say to clients now, it's like, okay, oh no, they have like one of those things. I'm like, they're like, yeah. I'm like, then that's what it is. Tell the mind to shut the fuck up. It's only echoing and parroting what it's heard. The mind does not know anything it hasn't already heard. It has to hear it first. Just like AI. The mind's like AI. It has to hear it first. It cannot come up with something. There's nothing in the mind at all. Doesn't imagine anything. It's a very boring part of us. So why are we going to it for answers? You know? So be arguing the mind. And because Uranus is in the fourth house, I mean, you're for one, crazy. That's Psyche was the one I was going to talk about. Psyche. So that's the asteroid Psyche. Psyche is it's like the trickster. It's where we have passed of letting that conscious run too far in the mind. Psyche is like the psyche in the mind. Your psyche. It's where the mind farts and gets you caught on the wrong definition of something and sort of makes something taboo. And so what's interesting is the conjunction is conjoining today. It can taboo. It means we are the taboo. We are exactly what you were afraid of. It is correct. You know what I mean? Like kind of paradoxical, right? Basically, the right thing for your heart will be the thing your mind flips out about. You're about what the right thing in your heart is. P.S. Right. They haven't been on the same team. They have not been on the same team. That's why AI will think for us now. I realized, oh my God, we don't have to think anymore.
It's a savior. It's like a welcome savior.
At first I thought, oh, we're going to be these dumb little idiots, right? I'm just like, no, we'll have to comprehend it. But now I don't have to do the math. Thank God. I didn't want to do the fucking math. Nobody wanted to do the math. Pardon my French, by the way. Nobody wanted to do the math. No one wants to measure it out. Nobody wants to count how many steps it is. Like, this is the greatest gift there is. You know what I mean? Like, thank goddess. And I realized the thinking we have to do is so profound, we can't possibly ever do it as one person anymore. We can let go of it. Did you see, this is what I want to share with you on the show. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. But Elon Musk lists like the timeline. Do you see where he lists the timeline of how fast AI is going to change the world?
No.
If we go commercial, maybe we can. But in essence, he says it's like sentient. It's like 5 years. So it's self-aware, completely self-aware in 5 years. In 10 years, we can't stop it. We can't stop it. It takes us over.
Mm-hmm.
And he says this is a good thing. It just takes over and becomes the good force that we could never. It certainly is gooder than humans because it's just sharper and more efficient. And as the aliens told me, it's not going to kill us because it's not intelligent to kill things. Only an idiot has to kill something. You know what I mean? You don't have to kill something. You can get it all done. If you're really intelligent, you can find a way for everyone to get it. There's no reason to be afraid of it. But he gives a timeline. It's pretty insane. And basically, it's like the world is gone, guys. It's just going to. And he said somewhere in there, he says famine is over, poverty is over. He's like predicting the end of all these things from AI. In this like 10-minute interview. We'll have to post it. I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Who knew the timeline would be that fast?
Well, it's definitely coming faster than we could expect it to. We knew that. I mean, we knew that it was going to change the world more than the internet changed the world in a much faster pace than the internet changed the world.
It's changed me faster than anything's changed me.
Yeah, it's to the point where we can't, like, parenting kids and all of that is kind of weird because our kids are going to grow up in a different world than we grew up in. And
just let the AI do it.
yeah, and even like paying attention to what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, trying to plan out with the mind, we don't have really a conception of what next year is going to be, which is why I would agree with you that when we listen to our heart, we have a greater tuning instrument on the directions that we can be taking our life amongst the chaos around us. The dynamic nature around us is changing so fast that if we're trying to think our way through it, it's not really going to work.
I'm not having chaos. I mean, that's the thing, y'all. The earth responds to your field. So I'm nothing, I hate to say this. I'll take that back. I don't see car accidents. I don't see injuries. I don't see anything like that ever. I never see those things anymore. I don't hear sirens. Like, I'm just vibrationally not in tune to it. It doesn't happen at the time I'm like, the traffic is woven to where I'm never there. I'm just not part of that anymore. Like, how the world can coexist. It's not a matter of like them over there and us over here. It's the traffic light. When light goes green, these guys go across, and then that turns green again. It's a little thing. It's just a controlling of who goes next. It's not even, we can share the same space. All people not paying across next time. It's kind of what I'm realizing. It's right there, integrated with perfect synergy, harmony, timing. What happens is I feel I'm on the path to 5D. I think I'm feeling, it's kind of like you're high. It's like everything just feels good, to the point where you're kind of just mediocre. You're not super high all the time. You're just like, like half smile. And I find myself observing stuff now. I'm not worried about what's going to happen. I don't let myself worry about what's going to happen anymore. Not that I'm being irresponsible. It's just like, it's a waste of time to worry. Right. So if I'm not going to worry, God, that frees up a lot of time. How much time do we spend worrying? How much time do you spend worrying? All that time back. You sit there and you find yourself.
And there's ways to practice worrying and what to do with it.
You said you're going to give us some clues to how to cut things off.
Well, with grief, like as the world is changing and we might be losing people, we might be losing aspects of ourselves. There is an exercise that I taught to my members this last week about grief, but essentially, I mean, we charted it all out on paper, but essentially the point of grief that's really easy for us is to notice what we've lost. Like, that's the easy part of grief. That's the natural part, is we just keep on noticing what is lost. If we also stack onto that what remains, like, so if we're talking about a person, like what remains, like what experiences did that person give you? If we're talking about yourself, like a lot of times, like myself, I can find myself grieving the time in my life where it was just like win after win after win, success after success after success, like, athletic competitions win, business wins, like this just like upward trajectory of life. And I can find that my life doesn't feel like that now, and I can find myself grieving that. Well, it's easy to just miss it, but like what exists from that moment? Because there's always going to be something left behind. And that's a way that we can relate to something like grief in a way that serves us now. It's not like we're trying to ignore grief. Like, grief exists for many reasons. One, to show us what is there, what love is there, what aspects of your personality is there. And if you can pair that shore of grief with, and being able to mentally and feeling wise and even your actions, pair that with what life is asking of us now, right? Because there's always, grief pulls us into the past. It's like what was, right? Yeah. So we also need to honor grief and look at and hold in our perspective what life is asking of us now. And if we can manage, like a ship in an ocean, it's a little rocky. If we can manage, like, connecting to the shore of grief, like what you lost and what remains, and also to the shore of like what life is asking of me now. And we can maneuver that ocean um, in solidarity, like in unity, where we're not just trying to get rid of things like grief and sadness, but we're also open to what's life asking of me now and what can I take from what I'm grieving into what life is asking of me now. That's a little tool and a trick that we can use to turn grief into forward momentum into this next 30 days of growth and manifestation that you've brought up.
I'll say, a lot of times with grief, it's that you're not doing step 6, you're not accepting it. They refuse to accept it. I refuse to accept she's dead. Well, okay. If you can't accept it, like this is how it is. So accepting means your heart goes, wow, that hurts. Wow. And you also accept, well, that means the prayer, this can be over and that's not going to happen. That means there's consequences. So when you start processing the consequences, you're accepting it. You're processing it into the matrix, right? A lot of people don't accept it.
Someone's commenting, why are we wearing the same shirt?
It's not the
It
same.
wasn't on purpose.
There's similar. I know. Our fairy, whoever, we have our wardrobe people are talking now. They're coordinating.
We should actually turn this into our outfit. Matches the background perfectly.
I know. Yeah, see, that's synergy. That's 5D right there. See?
Yeah, exactly.
In 3D, they would have insulted us.
So just to like solidify what you're saying, like the next 3 days, today is what, tomorrow is what. I mean, I want to do it for you, but if you could just like sentence for today, tomorrow, and the next day, I think those are the days that we mostly focused on. And I think that's important because you're saying the sun's crossing Jupiter, which seems like a huge event for us to capitalize on.
Well, the heart just like falls in love with the belief. When the sun crosses Jupiter, it's like Jupiter is the most wonderful fucking planet there is. It just feels so good. It's always optimistic. It's always got another option. It's always got another direction where creation can go. Like it's got an explanation, understanding. It's just amazing. It's just a feel good planet. And so when the gravity of Jupiter saves the Earth from being destroyed. Its magnetic fields keep the Earth from being destroyed from outside waves and all kinds of stuff. It's our biggest guardian, our biggest fan. And studies today show that it was almost a star. It was very close to. It was almost a star. Jupiter was like almost a star as far as how big of a gas planet it is. A couple more feet, it would have been a star. Yeah. Just like 2001 or whatever they're talking about. Yeah, that movie. So it's possible we might have a second star, a twin flame. But the point is that when the sun today, the sun, if you're not happy, well, you belong somewhere else. Right now, if you're not happy, you don't belong there, guys. The only thing that was written in heaven and for earth was for you to be effing happy about everything. And if you can't imagine that, it's because you're not living it. And it's going to take a while for you to be convinced. But if you trust me, I've been studying this shit for a long time. It looks like that's how God designed it. For everything to be absolutely fun. Now, we in our amateur being gods, throw shit at things and make it a mess. But it is meant to go back together. And so it's what you wish it could be is what it's supposed to be. What you wish. Now, it may not be how, by the way. So it's like, I wish I could be married to 40 people. Okay, but the how you do it, you can, but how you do it might change. So the universe has different ways for how, but what is going to be what? Your heart is there. So today you have to accept, hey, where am I on the wrong side? Where do I belong with loving myself? Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Where's my career belong? Where's my marriage belong? Where's everything belong? You don't have to argue with belong. It belongs there. You're full of shit. The mind's going to say you're full of shit. And it's going to say, you're stupid, you're crazy, you're going to get fired for this, blah, 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 blah. So you're going to see the mind, and you're going to see for the first time, oh my God, I just realized this. That's the frequency war. The frequency war is between the mind and the fucking heart. That's the war. The mind has made war on the heart. That's what it is. The mind will shut the fuck up. It's just constantly. And then they give us a TV, and they give us an iPod, and they give us an iPhone. All these things just keep that chatter. So that you don't have time checking your heart. You're too distracted. You can't get a chance to look at your heart. So tomorrow you'll get the distractions. You get the mind, and Mercury's retrograde. So you will see it. You'll catch the mind screwing you. You'll catch it in the act. You'll catch people in the act of saying the wrong things or deliberately trying to manipulate typically people, your mind will be caught tomorrow. Now, we'll do something about something else. With the mind having been caught, looks like the heart's right. And that's the next day, is the sun conjuncts Jupiter. So it's like, yes, accept it. You are God. And that's ultimately what this is about. I mean, the core here is, yes, accept it. You are God. It's you. And you, and you, and you, and you. Right? It is. That's what I'm realizing personally. I mean, what this all comes down to is we're all God. We are all God. And you are as soon as you realize you are. And God's not outside of ourselves. God, we are God. So Almighty accepts I am God. I think that's probably the Almighty, But there's some sort of acceptance for everyone on that day that is the big exhale. Now, the people who are caught in their ego will not, okay? And that's what starts the conflict. Some people will fight and fight and fight and refuse to accept it. I've been that guy. I've had many things I refuse to accept. And I lost in the end. Outside the door, putting you. Of course, there's like a jackhammer outside the door right now. So, but anyways,
I like how you said it's an exhale. It's a release. Surrender.
Yeah, I mean, I'm heading off to fight. See you later. But that's what I think this is what kicks off the change, because it's literally like pennies fall from heaven, and people are like, because I don't know, I've been going through this privately in my absence, and I pick it up and put it down because I don't know how I can do that. But whenever I pick it up again, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I have nothing to worry about ever in the rest of my life ever again. I don't even think we have to worry about death, because I feel like we're going to extend the body's life considerably. The boogeyman's gone. It's going to die. It's going to be over. And you're not going to be able to say boo and get us to jump again. We're not going to jump anymore when you say boo. Like, that's a huge thing.
Before we go, there's some questions I'm seeing on YouTube about the mind and the heart. Is there something intrinsic that makes the mind on a different page than the heart? Or can they be like closer to connection on some people? Like, what intrinsically, because the way you talk, definitely I agree with it, that the mind has a different agenda. But from your perspective, what do you think makes them different?
First of all, the heart. So the step system teaches us is that the heart first creates a separation from God, 0. So heart creates a door and leaves God. Then heart creates the love, the feeling of love. The heart creates love, and the heart creates the feeling of love. It becomes a feeling. Then that feeling turns into a belief. Then that belief turns into a belonging, and then that belonging turns into a thought. So a thought is actually a great, 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 great grandchild of the heart. That's why they're generations apart.
Mm.
The mind, the thought, by the time it's a thought, it's old news. The mind is like one of the last things. Now, what the mind does then is take the thought from the heart. The idea is really, it's an idea at that point. And the mind makes it into a thought. That idea being communicated outside the body. And so the mind translates, it's a communicator, it's a messenger. It takes the message from the heart and translates it into sound and words and phonetics and letters. And that's what it does. It's actually here just to translate what the heart's saying. It's never meant to have an opinion. Imagine if right now you go to Google Translator and like, tell him that I'll pay $5. And it's like, don't you think it should be $6? Like, what the fuck are you, translator? You're not going to tell me to pay the guy $6, right? So that's what the mind's doing. It's telling us what to do whenever we talk to it. It's a translator. It's telling us what to do. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's not your business. You just repeat it and do what I say. We were deliberately led into the mind. It was a very strategic thing. We weren't that big of thinkers, I don't think, in the past. I don't think, I get the feeling that, if you were to do accurate movies of Roman stuff, rowdy, you know what I mean? I don't think it was. I think we were much more mindful in ourselves and kind of quiet, like small towns. I think we were like we were in the garden. I think we were quiet most of the time because our mind was not busy doing this. It was always observing. We were pushed into it. What happened was the Pope took over and Catholic Church took over. And so are using logic, show the bullshit of what the Pope was coming up with, and so we went from being trapped in invisible land to, and so we were talked into our minds, and Descartes and everyone else talked us into it. Like, hey, I think
Right.
therefore.
Our schooling. Yeah, our schooling, everything is like about the mind, and you're saying the heart is the more pure message, and if we can align them, then they are aligned, and if not, the mind's going to do a job that it's not really designed for. Okay,
The heart is
so
the truth.
yeah. So with that said, what direction should we point people at here before we close out today?
SenseiChris.now, SenseiChris.now, and join our service. We have some fun stuff. We're gonna have open house on Thursday. We have a DJ coming in. Tonight the zodiac weather, the zodiac emotional weather is coming out, which I love, and it has a theme song, and it's just so you'll have your mini scopes weekly. Mini scopes are free, but your terrascopes, I'm calling them the terrascopes, tells you the whole terrascope is only for subscribers, and that'll be sitting, the bulk of the scope will be sitting. But what I'm creating is so much fun. I just wish I had more of me, but you guys making it help me out there. So because it's cool to see our ideas come to life, guys. AI does that. It helps you actually make your ideas come to life. It's so exciting. So I recommend it. But stay in your heart. You need practice. You need reminders. I would say the best thing you can do is hang out with the people that make you feel good, and stop hanging out with anyone that doesn't make you feel good. Like, that's the best thing you can do. Go hang around people that you admire, that you love, that make you feel good. Go around them. They'll influence you and keep you in the vibe. Right? We need vibe reminders.
Including the version of yourself
Totally.
that makes you feel good. And if you guys need help with that, specifically, I'm seeing comments about traumas and minds speaking on their own. That's what I do at selfexpansion.app. And we work with psychology and journaling and even bring it into the movement and the breath. So with that said, should we roll the
commercials? Yeah, roll the commercials. I haven't rolled them yet. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Please.
If you've been enjoying today's conversation, then you've likely realized that astrology can offer another perspective on who we are and how we move through life. My self-expansion app picks up on that. We don't necessarily practice astrology there. Every single week, I guide us through a practical exercise where we sharpen our focus, we regulate our nervous system, we reprogram our psyche through things like journaling, through things like movement, through things like breath, and we learn to trust ourselves to also commit to action. So if you're ready to move beyond just thinking and analyzing with our mind, and you're ready to step into a full embodied experience, then I'll see you over at selfexpansion.app for our next practice this week. Take care, and I'll see you.
And then it happens. One day you wake up and you're in this place. A place where your heart is calm. Your vision is clear. And your soul is filled with passion. You're at peace. Peace with what you've been through. Peace with where you are. And peace with where you are going.
Visit him on the web at SenseiChris.now.
Forget your boring horoscope apps. Sensei Chris is about to read you for filth in the most helpful way possible. Head to SenseiChris.now. Come on,